the guy behind it was like so adamant, like I'm a big fan. I love the Dark Phoenix saga, blah blah.
Kimber,
but yet,
yeah.
two versions of the live action
He's been
movie
saying that for
was
20 years. Though,
Yeah,
so
but like he
but he keeps.
They always. I love like catching directors in lies now because it's like they just don't even fucking care most of the time.
Sure.
Or like you pointed out with the Rob Zombie thing because I got the Blu-ray and I'm like, God, he is full of shit. I'm like he's sitting there like. You know, I hate when they make sequels and then just like rehashing like the old dialogue.
And you're like,
and I'm like, you did that in every scene in this movie.
It's the same plot.
You son of a bitch.
Right.
Yeah. Or James Cameron with the fucking Terminators. Like this time, guys.
Right.
This favorite just like why you lying, bro moment. It was like this is really deep cut, but on the audio commentary for Freddy versus Jason.
Oh God, here we go.
The director, Ronnie Yu, because there's the scene where Kelly Rowland has, because Jason's getting drowned in the nightmare, and then Kelly Rowland has to like give him mouth to mouth to like.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So they peel off. You see like half of his face. I'm listening to the commentary, and Ronnie Yu is just like, yeah, and this is the first time you've ever seen Jason's face
Literally
ever.
not.
And I'm like that. And I'm like, is this like that? That's like the first like Trump level lie I ever heard. Where I'm like, that is so easily
It's
disproven.
the first time that we've ever seen his face.
They said it couldn't be done.
I tell you what, it's like we're gonna take Jason's mask off, and Freddy's gonna pay for it. That's what it is. They say they're coming into your dreams, and I assume that some of them are good people. Fucking jackass.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Watchers in the Bar podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dustin Drace.
I'm Morgan Drace.
Max Hensgen.
And I'm Sean Tanktop, and when we're not slowly becoming as suspicious of cucumbers as our house cats are,
Oh, cute.
we're bar industry nerds talking about the wrong industry, the entertainment industry. You guys have seen those fucking videos where like people just like they'll just literally like people just these asshole cat owners.
Yeah.
Turns out when you have a cat, you turn into as big of an asshole as your pet is, and so
yeah, I've noticed
you
that.
try to fuck with them. So they'll just take like a cucumber and they'll just put it behind their cat while they're just like eating, and then as soon as the cat turns around and notices it, they just. Like they are launched, like they're like they're on a catapult. They just spring away
Catapult.
because they think it's a snake.
Yeah,
like
and
from thousands of apparently there's a snake cat war that I didn't fucking know that was going on.
Is this like a deep seated like memory or something?
It's
Most
in
cats,
the
yeah.
it's in the ether. It's in
people only
you know
discovered it like I don't know a couple of years ago. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
right.
just became a craze.
Right, and then now I'm just like maybe these cats are onto something. Maybe these fucking cucumbers aren't to be trusted. You know what I mean?
They
Yeah.
might be secret snakes.
These fucking unflavored pickles and shit.
Well,
that
once
we're
you get
talking
tired
about.
of throwing cat or cheese on your cat, then you got to like put like cucumbers
Oh,
next
that's
to it.
right.
You know.
They like to put the
Or breading
like
them.
the craft singles
Yeah.
like on their face or whatever
It's a
it
whole
is.
thing.
Yeah.
Pet
Like-
owners are the worst.
That's true.
Oh shit, man.
Well, my cat's ruined like a bag, a leather jacket.
Your cat just pissed on a bag pretty
he
recently.
He pissed on my bag. He pissed on my leather jacket.
Dude.
He's an asshole and I love him to death.
Right.
But if I might get a cucumber.
He's giving you. He's giving you all the cred in the punk scene though. Like you're just
I'm
gonna
not gonna
smell
walk
like
around
vaguely of
with
piss when you show up to the show. Like you're the coolest motherfucker. Like you're
I
gonna.
threw that shit away.
Hell yeah.
Please do that at the next Radio Shack show. The green hair chick smells like piss.
So awesome.
You're gonna turn into like a female Gigi Allen, right? That'd be
God.
great. Oh my God! Well, we got a special thing going on. We're hitting a hallmark of it's the 50th. It's the 50th episode.
It's our 50th episode of the podcast.
Big
It's
50.
very exciting. So if you are interested in some behind-the-scenes action, we are actually videotaping this right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to put up a video either through the Sean Tanktop YouTube channel, which you can find us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sean Tanktop, Sean with an E.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sean with
upload
me.
it to my P-Hub Premium.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for that one.
But we have ourselves a special guest with us right here.
man.
Max, I'll
Why
let you
don't
take
go
that
ahead and
away.
Introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Xavier Nazario. I'm known as Naztradamix, also NASA Stampede online, and I'm the man behind the Juggernaut bitch.
Holy
Remember
shit.
that shit, guy?
Yeah, it's the Juggernaut, bitch!
This is like one of the original like internet
No, I would, Xavier. I was thinking about you. I've been thinking about you all week, and and,
As you should.
as you should. In preparation for this episode and stuff, and just like
But what was I wearing every time you were thinking of me?
What were you on at the time? What were you like? Because I was also like shortly after we met and stuff. Or I met you shortly after. I forget the timeline, but like as far as like viral internet videos, it's like you were like the Ares Targaryen of like of viral videos. Like before YouTube was nobody knew what the fuck YouTube was. Like people went to YouTube was that thing that I'm the Juggernaut bitch was on.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. I mean, it was one of those. It's kind of in the same league. I have the same memories of that with like the G.I. Joe PSA overdubs and stuff
but
like that.
those were pre-YouTube.
That's what I'm saying.
That was like
now. I always put credit to that because the Fensler dubs actually put me on to doing dubs myself.
Is that right?
I was going to ask you about that.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So
okay,
every time someone points that out, I'm like, look, this is actually the inspiration for me.
Hell yeah.
To go get my friends and be like, hey, let's do a voiceover thing.
Yeah.
Where did you find the Fensler stuff?
They were just online somewhere. I forgot how, but
you
they
had to
were
like
just-
find the links. Like,
Yeah. It was.
You had that one friend that had a DVD burner or a CD burner that could like pass it around. You would get it off like
got my
These were
DivX
like
player.
These were like this is when the internet peaked. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think
When we had to still find shit on our own.
I think I got them from Kazaa.
Ooh, Kazaa.
Yeah.
Dude, Kazaa was a big
I
one.
miss
LimeWire, LimeWire,
FrostWire.
I
LimeWire
had
shut
this
down.
like teacher at school who would get mad every time we're getting stuff from LimeWire and Kazaa, and he'll be like, "Stop using LimeWire and Kazaa," and we're like, "Yeah, stop using Kazaa, everyone."
Totally.
I mean, at least they didn't call it the Kazaza.
The Kazaa.
That's the
Yeah,
classic
no-
old person thing.
Totally. I mean, that's for all the kids that kind of don't quite realize. Like back in the day, like you had to fucking like Raiders of the Lost Ark this shit. Like you had to put together. You're like, I got my buddy who has this one. He's got a couple of links. It's got like this little database and stuff like that. I can download a QuickTime file and then I'll save it to my computer in case it gets taken down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to sit there and go with the with the idol and just go. All right, cool. Now I got my meme. Awesome, great. You know what I mean? Like,
So
and like
Fensler was around here. So like he's from Chicagoland, right?
Is he?
Yeah. So
I
I was
didn't
going
know
to ask
that.
if you ever met him.
No, I would love to meet the Fensler. dubs.
Yeah, he was here for a while, and I don't know if he's still here now, but I know that he used to do like little mini film festivals and stuff like that. Because I was way into that shit back in the day. Because that was like
give him the stick. Don't give him the
ridiculous.
Yeah, we used to quote, "Hey," oh no, we thought it was my friend thought it was "Hey Momo, yeah," but then years later, did we find out it's "Game Over, yeah," and it was like, oh. But for years we were saying "Hey Momo, yeah," just out of nowhere.
Right.
So for those of you that don't know what we're even talking about, we'll give a little bit of context here. So
Context.
if you're under the age of like 30, you may not even be aware of this stuff.
yeah.
So
No.
the Fensler films, which we're referencing, were a bunch of spoof parodies, overdubs of G.I. Joe, the PSAs at the end that now you know.
Little 30-second clips. Yeah.
And they they kind of like paved the way sort of for what you do, and what you ended up getting famous for was dubbing over the X-Men animated cartoon. And so I have a kind of question. So in the pre-days of YouTube, like what were you guys even like how you were just recording audio, and what were you using technology-wise?
To this day, I still use when editing. I use Sony Vegas. I'm a PC kind of guy. And it was just a little like crappy computer mic, you know. And the Fensler dubs was around. I forgot how I met it. It just bumped into it. That and the Old School Afternoons, which were just 2 dubs of those. And YouTube wasn't even out yet, and I just wanted to dub. So I told my friends like, "Hey, let's dub some stuff." And at first it was just like little like Kung Fu Hustle, dub that a little bit,
Right, yeah.
and then some Street Fighter, and then I got my friend Randy one night, and we're just bored shitless in like November of 2000.
Where all great ideas come from.
Boredness plus Randy equals
Yes.
danger.
So it's like November 2005. YouTube and all that other streaming sites haven't even been like out there created yet, and I just said like, let's dub this right here. I played the one clip because I had the Dark Phoenix Saga. Because if there's something to download from the X-Men cartoons, it's the Phoenix Saga.
Yeah,
I
totally.
wanted to see that.
Go for the best.
So the first clip you see of that episode is Charles Xavier getting tossed by the Juggernaut, and then Randy just says, "Yeah, it's the Juggernaut, bitch," and we started cracking up, and I was like, let's keep going with that. So we did that and some Street Fighter dub all that night. That's what happened. Then YouTube comes later. And
like
it's
a year or two late, like a year or so.
No, like
later.
a couple months later.
Oh, okay, a couple months later. Okay, right on. You're right on the cusp.
2006 when I released it on Valentine's Day 2006. That's why I call Valentine's Day Juggerteen Day from now on. It's a celebration of when that came out.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm like, I showed my friends and family, and they like it. So I was like, why not? Just put it on the internet, see some people see it, right? So I put it on YouTube and Dailymotion and Vimeo. And then within a couple days, that thing just kept exploding. We're like, what the fuck? People like this?
Mm-hmm. It was just like such a perfect, like, the memory I'm having is like such a fucking time capsule memory.
Absolutely.
Like me and my friends, like we're in a computer lab in school that we're not supposed to be in. We're cutting some class.
Yeah.
To watch.
You're neglecting your studies.
Juggernaut on YouTube. Fucking, we're watching Juggernaut. We're laughing. Somebody in the background's like, hey, you know the Heath Ledger guy's gonna be the Joker? You know, like, it's like, it is just 2008 core style.
Right. Totally.
Like, yeah.
A lot of people make it seem like the Juggernaut bitch was like some like you shouldn't be watching this or whatever, kind of stuff. Like
I could see that, or it was one of those classic like, hey, dude, you gotta
don't
check,
you kind of
this
miss
shit out.
that a little? I kind of even in the movie spectrum, I miss that like kind of nanny state stuff because then that's what drove me into the ookie or crazy
God,
stuff.
absolutely.
Is hearing that I wasn't supposed to.
You can't go in
it.
here.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say.
How does that make you feel knowing that you are responsible as his gateway drug?
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's
Okay,
I turned you insane. I mean, I pretty much turned a lot of people insane. I gotta admit that.
Yeah.
Man,
You turned me insane and then you introduced me to the internet. No.
I do remember that it was like kind of like this weird like Wild West type of thing. Like if you could find it, if you knew where the fuck it was, you know what I mean? It wasn't just like all centralized. Because I remember like I was in like I think it was an audio editing class. And this guy was just like, well, yeah, there's this new site called YouTube, and like it's awesome. You can just kind of upload content, and it's free and stuff like that, and you can just create an account. And everybody's like, oh, cool, I got to check that out sometime, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then cut to like a year later.
That'll be a fun afternoon.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, right. And now it's like
Welcome to
ruling
the
my
rest of your
entire
life.
existence. Like,
Sean's like, I'm not too sold on the concept. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day,
if they
kid.
adapt those Martin books into a show, then I'll take it seriously.
I remember that was one of the things that I think that we can at least relate a little. We have a little bit of an in-kind kind of sense of experience with is the fact that, like, you just kind of put something out there and then it kind of takes on this life of its own. I mean, that's got to be it's simultaneously it's like fascinating, and it's also like you're kind of weirded out by it a little bit too. You're like, oh, like this is funny, but this isn't like this is awesome, but is it that cool, like, or whatever, at least that's how I feel sometimes. And then I'm like, and so like, what was that like? I remember you were talking about like how it was the initial thing once the wellspring, like. Were you ever out in the world and you heard somebody say, "I'm the Juggernaut bitch"? They don't know that it's you because it's on the cartoon. So like, did that ever happen, or like, what was that like?
Or did anybody recognize you, even though you're like, how would they recognize you?
The internet's gone too far.
And then did that interaction maybe lead to you being here now?
Yes. Well, that's a good segue right there. I never heard anybody just say it like directly to me. I know Randy has more crazier stories, but in the sense of like meeting people, especially Maxie over here, we were just me and another member of My Way Entertainment, which is what we call ourselves. We were just hanging out at the Harlem and Irving Plaza, which is called the Hip, and out of nowhere, this guy comes and he's like, "Excuse me, are you Naztradamix?" Yeah. And what I always do when they ask me that, I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Stop!" And I'm like, "No, I'm just fucking with you." Yeah, it's me. And it was him and his friends, and they're like, "Oh yeah, big fans, blah blah." And when people recognize me or whatever, I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. I want them to feel like it's just,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm just a normal guy, you know. So I'm like being very friendly and being very nice. And Scooby loves people as well, and he loves fucking with them. So we hanged out with them for a little bit, and then we left, and we saw him and his friends walking. And then Scooby just rolled down the window, like, "Hi, why? And they're like, oh, it's like, come on, man, give you a ride. And then, we gave them a ride, and at the same time, Scooby is like screaming at random people on the street, cracking them up.
Scooby was definitely trying to pull some like Tokyo Drift shit with that re-entrance. Because we thought I was like, that was cool. We met the My Way guys. Flash in the pan, never to happen again.
Right.
2 seconds later, just get in the car.
I should have said that, like, get in. I'll explain it later.
Come with me if you want to meme.
Yeah.
Get in, bitch.
If I had Randy, right? That would have been great.
Totally, man. Absolutely. Yeah. I remember. I remember it was so. Another thing that we can kind of talk to is like when it gets kind of so big to a point that like the higher up type of folks start to notice because very famously this bit that you put out into the world, that you birthed from your own creation and gave this baby to the world, and then it ends up in a fucking like X-Men movie.
Yep.
Take us through that process. What was that process like? That's just absolutely insane.
Well, the Juggernaut just kept blowing up. It was getting millions and millions of views, and then we started dropping more stuff. And I think the other successful video was the Power Ranger parody we did, because everybody mentioned it. They either met us through the Power Ranger one or the Juggernaut bitch, either or. So it just keeps going on, and then out of nowhere it's like, oh, viral hits affecting movies, and it was not just us. It was us and Snakes on a Plane.
I was gonna bring that up because that was kind of the first time where the internet started to kind of like
creep into mainstream.
They're pulling at the coat of like major motion pictures and shit like that. So that's awesome that you brought that up. But keep going.
So then we were the two talks, and it was just like surreal. We were being mentioned the Juggernaut on magazines. I was getting interviewed by like Entertainment Weekly and MTV, and then the news talk about the Juggernaut bitch being added to the.
How much of that like do you get interviewed and like they just can't repeat back your own
the
words?
Juggernaut B.
The Juggernaut viral video is the new X-Men movie.
So when Juggernaut says he's going to R, storm, and the A and the C,
which is just crazy because the video itself. Like, if we talk about this, me and my friends, like, if that video was released today in this age, it wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Totally, man.
Nowhere.
I mean, that's the thing, too. I mean, I was thinking about it, because it's like your first effort, it's like your first, most purest, honest effort put into the world. Like, it should be like, I'm the Juggernaut bitch. It should be like.
How old were you?
It should have that untapered.
How old were you at the time?
Man, I don't know, 20-something, maybe 24, maybe 25.
Okay. That makes total sense. Of course, absolutely. So you, all of it, you're getting interviewed. That's kind of building, and then do you get a call from Brett Ratner?
The Brett Ratner.
Let's talk about the rat.
Yeah.
Talk about the B-rat.
Brett Ratner situation actually happened after the whole release when it was in home video already.
Okay.
So people were watching it and they were saying, oh, we heard a commentary. Brett Ratner was talking about you guys. And he said like, oh, I love this scene. And we took this theme from a viral video. And it would be kind of funny if we could get the guys, they could do like their own audio commentary to the movie, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then I didn't have to go reach out. They were like, hey, fans gave me like, here's that dress and whatever. Reach out to him. I was like, okay. But then
wait, they were doxing you.
Here's a picture of him sleeping through the window.
The internet was doxing you, but in a way that like you kind of wanted. It's like, get my information to people with millions of dollars, please.
So I think either I reached out to him or he reached out to me, but he did reach out to me finally, and it was through an email through his BlackBerry, because it says via BlackBerry.
I remember. Yeah.
And he was like, I'm working on Rush Hour 3 right now, but I would like to contact you and blah blah blah. Here's my phone number, blah blah. So I'm like, okay. I reach out and he was busy doing his thing. Like I got to the reception, and it's like, oh no, he's busy right now, blah blah. And then I tried reaching out later. I give him some time to work on Rush Hour 3. I go later and still
go work on your
go make your movie.
Make your movie. I reach out later and still no word, and I never heard from him again, basically. But at that time period, that's when YouTube started changing. At the end of 2006 was the whole like
Crackdown.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
Like, so what was at the height before the crackdown? How many millions of views was it at?
Oh,
Do you remember?
before the crackdown, and then let's also take a look at the fact that it was like 2007. Like, hey, I got a call from Brett Ratner, and like cut to you wouldn't want to call from Brett Ratner in 2019.
There's a lot of it. Yeah. There's talking about things like aged like milk or something like that. Right? Totally.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, like that way. Well, so
before the crackdown, because this is the thing that maybe people don't realize now is that like YouTube was the Wild West, man.
Absolutely.
Like I think content owners were like, whatever, we don't even know it, we don't care.
Yeah.
So when you put this up, it was just going.
Yeah.
You know, there were no like bots that were like scouring for copyright infringements at that point.
And were there ads at that point?
No.
So
No.
you
No.
weren't
There
even
there
able
was
to
a point where
monetize
YouTube
this.
didn't even have fucking ads, and it was like
Wow.
all 360p was the highest resolution you could get, and we liked it that way. We loved it.
Yeah,
that
wasn't
way.
it? I mean, now it's like things like now, especially because of like what we do and stuff. It's like it's things like cease and desist and these search. It's secondhand language. But I remember like, was it Juggernaut 3 was the first one that got slapped with something, and then. And I that to me, I remember introduced. Like, I was like, "What?" I was like, "You can take down a video?"
Yeah,
For
right.
What?
Yeah, you just
I
right.
thought this was America.
Yeah.
I think it was J3 or J3. We just released it so you could download it or whatever because they already cracked down.
Well, J3 was the one where you ended it with Randy being like, "Fuck Marvel, fuck YouTube." Like, you wrote that.
Totally right.
I always say that if there's something like the Juggernaut was my trilogy, you know, like I wanted to make a trilogy. I wanted to be up there on par with the first Star Wars and Back to the
There you
Future.
go.
I wanted my own trilogy. So if you watch J1 through 3, it kind of goes full circle.
For sure.
There you go.
So
It's like poetry, so it rhymes.
yes.
Right.
At the end of that year, yeah, they started cracking down, and my account was just Naztradamix. It wasn't My Way Entertainment, which I had to do again. But at that peak, we were known for just dubs and video logs.
Right.
And I wanted to do more. I wanted to do like sketch videos
Yeah.
and little short films and whatnot. But they just wanted dubs. So I told them like, no, I'm gonna like branch off of this. I'm gonna give you some dubs here and there, blah blah. So YouTube kind of did me a favor by just like scrapping all that out, but they hurt me too because they took out everything. Like I lost my
Yeah.
account, my viewers,
Oh, wow.
everything. I had to start fresh again with
Was
my
that
entertainment.
still at the point where where people could sub to your channel? Was that a thing at that point? Okay.
Yeah.
All
There was
right,
still-
cool.
It was always subscription and stuff like that.
Right.
But now that actually matters, you know, like
Yeah,
how many
totally.
subscribers you
Absolutely.
get,
Right,
how many
right.
views and likes and all that stuff.
Right, all that shit.
Yeah, but then it didn't matter. Like he said, it was the Wild West. People
Yeah.
just went up there and were free to do anything. We just made videos and we were introducing ourselves to the world and
Right.
just having fun. Then I got attacked. And it wasn't even the Juggernaut bitch that was attacked at first. It was these AMVs, anime music videos I did of like Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Okay.
That were
Oh,
getting,
shit.
were getting striked by Viacom. Viacom
Yeah.
was taking them out. They were the first ones.
There's
Bam,
always
bam.
I've noticed like it kind of some of the different companies are some are just way more extra. Some of them are just way more vigilant. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that video, which probably didn't have nearly as many views as the Juggernaut bitch. Like I can't love saying that. That's so great. As the Juggernaut bitch video though, like it didn't have nearly as many views, nearly as much traffic and stuff like that. But they were like, that's our IP. We're going after that, and we're taking it down and stuff like that. It's always kind of strange because, like, sometimes I'm like, you know, like on our channel, like we'll upload some shit, and HBO, chill as fuck. Chill as
Yeah.
fuck. Like I think occasionally sometimes their bots will come in and they'll be like, oh, you know, like,
Well, yeah, 'cause they
we do a copyright claim. I'll dispute it, and then they fucking release it. But
Yeah.
if you do anything with like Warner Brothers, like when they're
Yeah.
directly involved, they are all over our shit like fucking white on rice. It is
Anything
crazy.
Disney
Huh?
is really contentious. And,
Yeah, right. I mean, like, yeah, that's
RuPaul was surprisingly.
yeah.
Wasn't that
yeah,
mostly music?
HBO just lets
yeah,
us.
music companies.
Because I think think
They've
the
taken a
robot,
hit more than anybody.
the robots that figure out the music, I think, are just better. It's
they
like,
got Shazam on their side.
yeah, they do.
Not the movie Shazam.
They're like the Blob, like they've just assimilated Shazam.
And you
into-
know
Yeah.
the reason that HBO is cool with us is because we wrote that last season of Game of
Right,
Thrones.
which,
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
everybody.
true. I mean,
sorry,
like,
sorry
with
for
the
that.
commenter. I mean, the commenters.
Thank
already
you.
know.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the
That was all
commenters
me.
already
Yeah.
know. Yeah, no, they market. Well, D&D. They market tested every single plot point with us.
And we said perfect.
And
Don't
we
change
said,
a thing.
awesome, cool. That'll be $0. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like
I love that. Yeah, when people, because for those of you who don't know, like there was like a surge of people saying that the writers were placating to people like us making reaction channels and stuff. You think if they were placating to us, you'd think Lena Headey wouldn't have just stared out a window all season.
yeah, right. If they're placating to me,
she
that
would-
bitch, she would have had like 2 fucking Gatling guns and be like,
Yeah.
"I'm telling all you
Damn.
with me, motherfuckers."
Yeah.
Like, that's what
I want
would
to see that one.
Yeah,
Judge
right?
Dredd, man.
Absolutely.
You ever seen that shit?
Yes.
That's it, man. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I love her.
She was fucking
Right,
great.
totally.
No,
She-
you get
She
you get,
bites a dude's dick off in that movie.
Yeah.
It's the
Wait, which one?
Dredd.
Judge
Dredd.
Dredd.
Oh, I've
yeah.
seen Judge Dredd. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Or
yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Dread, just Dread.
Oh, sorry,
Dredd.
yeah.
She's
Yeah,
fantastic in Dread.
Yeah, the law. I am the law. Yeah, you're not talking about fucking
Amazing.
the Sly Stallone.
I am the law.
Right. Armand Asante
Oh.
somehow out Stallone. Remember when they keep saying law at each other?
That's
And
the
it's
that's
like,
like
I am the law, and he just goes.
that's like the real star of that movie is Armand Asante. Just like
he-
Raul Julia stole Street Fighter, like those two guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they were just like, it's like overacting. Hold my fucking beer. Hold my fucking beer.
So when
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sly Stallone.
When you were doing the original Juggernaut, did you script that out, or was it just off the cuff?
That was
Just-
pure improv.
You didn't like do edits. You didn't do multiple takes.
No, that was pure improv. I think the only one that I really did like have like a guideline and a plot was J3. Well,
'Cause you had-
Juggernaut was
yeah.
just like pure fun improv.
And you like you said, you had by the third one, you kind of had like a little bit of a story to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each one.
By the third one, you were like you were George Lucas, like looking at the you got Rick McCollum just like sweating, like
The frame is so dense.
each one had a purpose. The first one was just pure fun. The second Juggernaut was kind of like me stating something because after Juggernaut Bitch came out, there was so many copies. So many people trying to do
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
so many
totally.
people trying to do their own like Juggernaut and whatnot. And then so the second one was about that episode where that one dude took the powers of the Juggernaut. It was a geeky kid, and he went out there and he was the Juggernaut and whatnot. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna be this geeky kid.
damn, you were throwing subtext in there.
Yeah,
and
you
none
didn't
of
even know.
us-
Like, a lot
none
of
of us
people-
knew.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't
Right.
know that, so I'm out there acting like, yeah, it's Juggernaut, bitch. It's fun to say, you know. Well, the real Juggernaut is pissed off that someone got his powers. You know? So it was all like a metaphor what was happening on the internet at that
There you
time.
go.
That's
I mean,
brilliant.
That is, I mean, like that. Oh man, like that. Yeah, that's the one thing that kind of some people. It is one of those things. Cause is it weird? That's the other thing when you're talking about people that kind of like are you know, you inspire. The coolest thing about it, like you inspire people.
I love
Kinda-
inspiring people. To
That's
this
the-
day, like there's people who are doing things because they say like, I watched your video.
Absolutely.
You inspire me.
What is it? But like, I always thought about it because the same thing with like reaction videos. Like, I have a kind of a very kind of tenuous like relationship with reaction videos. I think that ours are pretty cool. I understand why they went viral. It's kind of about as close as you could get to the Game of Thrones experience, but like still like a midnight movie type
Yeah.
of experience. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing. Like if you were somehow able to get like a camera in like during Avengers Endgame, that fucking video would have 10 million fucking views. For sure. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
for when all the Avengers come out and they have the big square off, that would I understand.
I
why
almost hit my
people-
girlfriend during that scene, and it was by accident. It was a scene when Captain America finally got the hammer,
Got
and
Mjolnir.
I'm holding her
Yeah.
hand. I'm watching the movie, and I'm just like, it's gonna happen, thinking in my head. And then he grabbed it. I was like, yeah. She was like, oh shit.
Totally. Oh my god. Yes.
Oh yeah, and that would happen every week. Here, we're just like, I mean, you'd see. Anytime something exciting, it'd be like, yeah! And then as it dies down, like you can hear a glass breaking in the background.
Right. It always like you kind of you sort of put that out there, and then it kind of becomes a part of like the internet lexicon, and then people become inspired and they start to do their own thing, which is awesome. But reaction video, like I was talking before, reaction videos I kind of have a tenuous thing because I like some of them. There are some channels that are great, and there are a lot that are very weird and I don't think are very good. But I appreciate the fact that everybody's out there, and sometimes it's like dire, or it's like the what do you call it? The Grateful Dead, where it's just like, you guys were like a pretty good band, but what hath ye wrought? You know what I mean? We're just like, now we got to deal with all these shitty jam bands and stuff like that. Like, is that kind of an interesting thing to see sometimes? Where you're just like, where you almost want to take them aside and be like, listen, kid, you're doing it wrong. This is how you make it.
Yeah, a lot of times. Because they all thought that our video, we were all having fun, so of course we were screaming our asses off and saying stuff like, once again, if it came out today, we would have got bashed. Like, I'm surprised no one goes back and is like, you guys were talking and making fun of rape. Right. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. And I was like, we don't condone it. We were just like... Right. What was funny was at that time, there was this...
Judge, if I could set the scene. We were in my room and we were bored.
In our defense, we were really bored.
Yeah. there was these... we were interviewed for a college nearby. I forgot which one. And it was two women. And I asked them, like, why do you like it? Because we were making fun of, like we were doing rape jokes and stuff like that and stuff. And she said, like, no, we get what you're saying, because in the context of what the video looks like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
There was these guys, big, all in tights.
Yeah, when he throws her down.
Yeah, she's all sexually and stuff, tied down and stuff like that. That's what it looked like.
Recontextualizing like the actual, like the code that's within this image.
Subconsciously, that's what we were doing. We didn't know that, but subconsciously, that's what we were doing.
You were being informed by the work.
Yes.
And it was kind of, totally.
I forgot what the question was.
But also, he's...
No, but like, well, it was kind of more just like, is that like, if you had to give some, how about this? If you
when people did their own,
they're kind of aping off the style,
but they're doing it badly.
But so that got to my point. So people thought that's what it was. So a lot of videos after that was just people going like, oh, this motherfucker, like it was just a lot of cursing going on.
They're just going for the edgelord thing.
Like they were just going on.
And that's always what, like, as a fan before I knew you, what attracted me to it was like you guys' comedic cadence.
Yeah.
Is so it's some of it is like almost musical, like, when like,
I kind of am what's the word I'm looking for? Because we created
Puerto
humor.
Rican. No.
Yes, I am Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
We created we created a kind of sense of humor. Like you said about like, oh, we love the Grateful Dead, but they created all this. Yeah. Sort of. I created like some whole other kind of humor that I kind of feel bad for now. Because it's just like way out there. Yeah. Like our humor, especially because of Randy, was just like way out there, like out the field. Like it's like you just take something, you just start grabbing shit everywhere and just mixing it together.
It's a creative synapses that's kind of happening in the moment.
Which is really funny, but there's some people who take it too far.
Yeah. Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. I don't know. Yeah.
Or it's like a thing. It's like you can be edgy if you're funny. Like,
right.
your videos work because they're funny, but it's like, how can you explain to someone why something's funny?
Right.
And
some people get it, and they've done dubs great, like Team 4 Star or Jabooby dubs, stuff like that. You know, like they get it, and they've done their own way of doing it. That's what I'm asking for.
You want to
try to be us.
You want to take that band on tour.
Yes, there you go. Like they're the opening act. Well, at this point, I'm like the opening act.
You're the legacy. You're the cred.
Welcome to us and the normies.
Kind of, shout out to the normies. We love them, but
we're your opening act.
Yeah, at this point, absolutely. But Siraj was like, oh yeah, you guys like the reason that we started, and I'm just like, cool, man. Like, teach us how to get that Patreon money the way that you know what I mean? But
how does that make you feel?
Really
seeing like the way YouTube is now and how like streamlined it is to allow creators to monetize stuff. Like, do you feel like you missed out being part of being a pioneer in a way? Like, do you feel like if you had been able to kind of hit on that zeitgeist with all of those tools, do you think that you could be doing something different, or do you feel okay with it?
I think about that a lot. Like, what if I started YouTube now instead of then? What if I was that 20-year-old now instead of that time? I'm not sure, because a lot of people that started with me actually went on to greater things, and I did not. But I feel that that's because they probably had like a more a stronger core of people. Like when I did My Way Entertainment, it's just me. Like I was the one like behind everything, and all my friends were just doing it to have fun. I don't think they had the same mindset that I had of trying to go somewhere, except for one person too, and he's the one I always work with. But then our lives took over. I gotta work all the time, just to live and stuff like
Working
that.
people, man.
I don't got that much time to focus on doing the work that I want to do.
There's no YouTube student loan that you
Yeah.
can
No,
take out.
there
You know what I'm
isn't.
saying? Like,
Or like
why don't we do it? YouTube. They're big enough. Like, have like a YouTube university.
yeah.
You apply for a fucking grant, and you're like, all right, so you don't have, even though that's what you just sort of have to
It's
do.
like a Rhodes
anyway.
Scholar, but for YouTube.
No, it could
Yeah,
be,
but
it could be a sarcastic
all the professors have to be like.
Can I
Yeah, I want Professor Naz. I want Professor
Goddamn
Tank
right.
Top.
Goddamn right. Absolutely.
No, I feel like there's
I want to be the lunch lady.
I will actually be Professor X.
Professor, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
no, like there'd be could be like a YouTube genius grant. You'd have to say it like that. Here's your genius grant.
And to be fair, like YouTube they do have like workshops, and they have certain spaces that are made for creators. Like they do some stuff like that. But yeah, I mean,
Have
we're
you been
just kind of being
invited to
funny.
one?
I just want some cold hard cash.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what I
yeah,
want.
me too.
That's what I'm
No,
looking
yeah.
for.
I
Who
mean,
doesn't?
I was at a family thing recently, and one of my relatives was like, so how do you, like, well, it's great, you're doing the podcast, all that stuff. How you do the podcast and work? Like, how do you do? Like, you talk about life take hour. I'm like, oh, it's simple. I don't sleep, and I'm agitated all the time.
Right.
And I choose random people to take my blood pressure problems out on.
Totally, absolutely.
It's very simple once you get it down.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's also something. I remember because initially when we put the videos out, there was the first 3 years that we did them because I was, kind of a little unfamiliar with like how like the monetization worked, and like I wanted to protect the night. Like because I was waiting for that cease and desist.
Yeah.
I was waiting for for the knock at the door and be like, yo, you motherfuckers need to chill out, because I think it was the second season 5. All these other bars started doing watch parties, and they all started going down.
Yeah.
They all started getting C&Ds. And I was a little nervous, and that's kind of why we pulled back. And we only did episodes 9 and 10, which is why we don't have Hard Home.
Yeah.
Which the internet will never forgive me for, and I will honestly, I mean, looking back, I should have been shooting all of them, but hindsight, blah blah blah.
Hey, you should have been shooting all of them.
I should.
Get demands of like, you should dub this or that.
Show us your
Never.
feet.
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Right.
Dub this, dub that. Get ready to say this.
What's the number one?
Do J4.
Jug 4.
Juggernaut 4.
Oh, yeah.
Do Juggernaut 4. That's my fault because I ended Juggernaut 3 with a cliffhanger. And it said J4 on it.
Yeah, but it's 2019 now. It would have to be the Juggernaut sequel reboot. It would
Pretty
have
much.
to be Juggernaut Force Awakens.
Yes, pretty much. I would call it that.
Yeah.
Instead of Jug
Oh
of
my
a
God,
bitch.
you get Kylo Ren doing the Juggernaut. It's like, it's the Juggernaut, bitch.
I think we got something.
We got something
Oh,
there.
got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're hired, Sean.
Oh, there you go.
I'm casting right
Now,
now.
you just fucked me over now. Everybody's going to ask me for that
Right.
now.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, there's so many you could do. Like, yeah, I get Bane in on it too. It's like nobody cared until I put on the mask. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Stop it. People are going to keep bothering me now.
sorry. I'm creating all this work.
Yeah. So did you get any nemesis? Because we have a German eye patch nemesis that made a whole video called
You got a Bond villain?
We have a super villain.
straight up Bond villain.
Dustin wants him to be our nemesis.
I want him to be. He's not good enough
It's
for
like-
it, but it's kind of awesome.
Right.
It's like, can we talk to the Nemesis Guild and get a replacement unit?
He's
Yeah.
a nemesis
Right.
in training. It's okay. He'll get
I
it.
want to raise some money and get him and take him, fly him out to the place and show him that we're okay.
Yeah,
That's what I want to.
No,
I mean,
and
like,
you know what? And I watched his video where he seriously railed on us for 30 minutes, and I was like,
Long time.
I was like, you know what, man? I agree with about 80% of this.
that douchebag in a tank top totally over. Like it's got a horrible lisp, but he's overbearing. I totally get it.
Yeah,
Like
And
you know,
also German Eye Patch Dude, you're welcome for your 3 views you're gonna get off of this podcast.
There you go.
No, I mean I applaud his active imagination because I mean like conspiracy theory hat style. Dude, the shit. It's like when Republicans used to talk shit about Obama, where like they would say some shit, and I'm like, man, I actually wish that were true.
Right,
you know,
right.
like
It make him
because they were like saying that we were like cashing checks from HBO. I was like, damn,
All
that
that
would've been
dark
sweet.
HBO money.
That would have been fucking
I
awesome.
will
Absolutely.
sell out in a hot minute.
Mia
Give me
Morgan
the
have
chance.
always been. Yeah, we've always been very openly pro sellout.
Pro sellout.
Yeah.
I mean, like George Soros, if you're fucking paying, I will
Yes.
protest anything you want.
Anything.
For $2,000? Are you fucking kidding me? Absolutely. Anyway,
So, do you have
I'll
any?
hit a kid, Soros. I'll
Right.
punch a kid.
If I had any nemesis, I wouldn't know. But trolls, yes. I think
Oh,
at
yeah?
one point there was someone that was like really like hardcore coming at us, and he even made like a mock account, and it was like My Way Entertainment, but it was like kind of spelled a little bit differently, and he just had like a whole bunch of guys all over each other or something like that, and it was like a lot of homophobic jokes and stuff, and I was like, okay, you're wasting
we
your
doing
time
here?
here. I don't know.
yeah.
Yikes.
It's whatever, but yeah, there's a lot of people.
like
Well,
what?
that looked like it took several hours to do.
It's one of those you just watch confused and you're like, yeah, you got me. You sure showed me.
I never had anybody like in extreme or like
Right.
specifically or anything.
Or
like
it's
that.
or it's kind of like it's like if you were to actually like bring like your adult logistical thinking to like playing with like a little kid. It's like, oh, you're on lava, pew pew. It's like, shut the fuck up and go to bed. Have a drink of water and fuck the fuck off, Miles. Or whatever the fuck your stupid name is.
You don't even know it.
Right. Yeah, right.
Are you just hanging out at a kid's playground? Like, what do you?
Right.
Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, I'm 35 years old and I'm in the ball pit. Go fuck yourself.
He's just sitting there with that cup right there. Go
I get a
on
sippy
the
cup
fucking
too.
slide.
I
Leave me
get a
the fuck
sippy
alone.
cup too. I paid fucking money for this sippy cup. Y'all can go fuck yourself. I don't need to eat that much. I get the kids' meal. I only need 4 nuggets.
You know who I am? I'm the tank top bitch. It feels really good. I gotta say, thank you for creating that because it does feel real good to say that.
Yeah, a lot of people praise me for that one right there.
It feels
You know what?
But
when
they also condemn me because some people had like when I went to a RAFACon 2, I think RAFACon 3, whatever, in Boston, and this one woman came up to me. She was like, "I want to say you guys have ruined my life because you have my mother coming at me saying, oh, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." She was saying it like in a happy way, whatever. She was joking around, but she said like now she has like her mother screaming like,
Ruin your
I'm the
life? That
Juggernaut,
sounds
bitch.
awesome.
And
Yeah, right.
That mom sounds cool.
Oh wait. That's an instrument. Have you ever met somebody that you might consider like an improbable fan? You'd be like, wait, you're down with this shit? Like, have you ever run into anybody like that? That's happened. I mean,
No, they all fit the bill.
No, yeah, I've been surprised sometimes, like, especially in the independent wrestling circuit. There's some big wrestling names that are fans of My Way Entertainment. And I believe the guy, Xavier Woods, that's in WWE, was a fan back then, too, because I swear to God, I remember his name on MySpace. But him and his friend quote us all the time as well. But he never say us by name. So a lot of the fans are like, "Come on, like say My Way Entertainment or Naztradamix."
yeah.
They're just like, "No, come on, Charles or Juggernaut bitch," but they won't say us by name. So Xavier Woods, if by any chance you're listening to this, come on, man.
Represent,
Come on.
dude.
Jesus.
You should have tagged me when you had the chance, Charles.
Exactly.
You should have added me when you had the chance, Charles.
The old Jug videos, like they manifest themselves. Because it's like I don't remember the rhyme or reason I don't remember I used to have an encyclopedic knowledge of the plot of the Jug trilogy.
Sure.
Now I kind of forget. But then it's like I'll be like getting water in my kitchen at 3 a.m. and nobody's there, and I'm just like, anus, everybody, anus.
No, that is one. I mean, I think that there's something to that. And that's what's actually, I think, so cool about that video and so cool about videos like it is that there are these like earworm things that are just in there, and you're just like, I can't get this out of my brain. I'm saying this shit while I'm fucking grabbing a cup of water at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there just getting my.
I'm glad he finished
I'm
that
just trying
sentence because I thought it said, I'm saying this shit while I'm fucking. I'm like, no, please don't. Please don't do that. That's not right.
Only Millie knows for sure. I'll have to ask her later.
You know that there's like you don't want to know. Oh my god. I mean, is there?
Do we want to know this?
You know it's a
Has that ever happened? I mean, it has to have happened.
You know it's a joke.
Like for me?
No. Like some guy loves your videos.
I'm not quoting myself.
Some guy fan of your videos.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Mid-thrust. I'm the juggernaut.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
It has to have happened.
I'm pretty sure.
Man, you've inadvertently caused so many conceptions. You and Randy, man. Another one I use all the time, like especially in video games, you know, when you have to like escape from, after you beat the boss and you gotta get out before the thing, like especially in Crash Bandicoot, it's just like, why is shit always falling?
Beautiful.
So what do you guys got in the can now? What are you working on these days?
Yeah, what's going on now?
Right now, we have a website, mweforlife.com. It's 4 as in the number. And if you go there, we have a streaming service that's actually just $1.99. You know, it's cheap as shit.
Oh, shit.
And you could actually see our entire library of dubs right now.
Hell yeah.
Because they're hard to find and hard to, especially on YouTube. It's just been living off people uploading it. But of course, they get taken down.
Oh, right.
Most stay on there. But now you could just go there and you could watch them stream or you could download them as well.
So
And
it's direct from the source.
yeah, direct from the site.
Locally sourced.
Yeah. So,
Farm to table.
So we post them up ourselves, so you can watch all our stuff. And trust me, we have like a plethora of freaking dubs that people don't even know about. You know?
The Power Ranger ones are great.
Yeah, we did Power Rangers, more X-Men. We did Ghost in the Shell that people didn't know about.
Oh hell yeah!
So right now, actually, for mostly this whole year, we've been working on the Super Dragon Ball Brawly.
Okay.
That's what we've been working on. I'm almost done getting it done. It's just, work got in the way and stuff like that.
Sure.
But that's gonna be an exclusive on the website.
I like that. I mean, I do like the kind of like the farm to table aspect of it, where you're just like, it's like you want this content, you you care about it, you want one place to go and get it. And then that's awesome that you were able to create that.
Yeah, but even that, people still bitch about it. $1.99. I'm like, dude, it's
$1.99.
$1.99.
Ass 90.
It was $4.99 at first.
Hey, here, motherfuckers, go you come to my bar, get one drink, stiff me on the tip, and give it to this guy.
Yeah, right.
Who gives it? It's nothing. It's nothing. That's
So
nothing.
what are some of your favorite questions from your AMAs, if you will?
Oh man.
Like, what are your fans dying to know from you?
You know what? The best questions are the ones that make no fucking sense. All right? And one that's like the key, like number one question that this guy knows as well is do you think they're Yugi? To this day, we don't even know what the fuck that means.
I haven't thought about that in 10 years.
So we're always like, yes, we think they're Yugi. Do you think they're Yugi? Yeah, I think they're Yugi. Like, all right, we think they're Yugi. Yeah.
Perfect sense.
Yeah.
Hey, Yugi, me, yeah, we're all Yugi.
I haven't thought about that in so long. Yeah.
It still lives, man. People still bring it up.
That's awesome.
It's like our we have. I try not to read our comments, but there's one I will cherish. I might even get it engraved on my tombstone,
dude.
It's
you ready to get some matching tattoos?
I want to get this as a matching tattoo. It was for one of the Game of Thrones reaction. This guy, I don't know where this guy's from or how his voice sounds, but it's impossible not to read what he wrote, not in a Russian accent. He wrote, "Why so much love, John?"
There is a lot of that stuff over there where just certain and I get it because it's a big audience, it's a global audience.
Yeah.
And sometimes people, English is their second language. I, who have no second language because I'm a fucking because I'm an ugly American. But the fact that
don't be so hard on yourself.
What's that?
Don't be so hard on yourself.
I'm just trying.
Right,
well,
yeah.
I strive to be better. And I'm raised Irish Catholic, so you got to punish yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
But it is hard to not whenever it's kind of the broken English to do the Russian thing.
It's always Russian.
It kind of is
Yeah,
always.
it's always Russian. Yeah, no, I mean it's like.
But we appreciate
But I know that
our Russian fans.
It's a place of utter reverence because
Right.
I think about why so much love, John?
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Bozo. I appreciate that they're taking the time being like, oh no, I have to write it in the language that they understand so that they can see this.
They want us to. They want us to know.
Yeah,
Why
we-
so much?
thank
why
you.
so much you love John?
Yeah.
In Russia, John loves you.
And as somebody who like really never gave that much of a shit about Jon Snow, I was like, yeah, this guy fucking gets it.
right. Totally.
Touch to the core.
If they watch the YouTube channel, they probably has a lot of everyone that I've met personally. It's like I'm like, you listen to the podcast, and they're like, nope.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, well, please do because
We're gonna get them out there. Well, this will be a nice little like.
Yeah,
nice,
we're on video now.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, this will be a nice little kind of like a gateway drug, hopefully, for people. And
Yeah,
everything.
and
It's been a
then-
fucking great episode, man.
It's been a great 50 episodes.
Been a great 50
Yeah.
episodes. That's the thing. Like, if you guys are just now becoming aware of the fact we have a podcast, you can go back. We got 50 fucking episodes of stuff. If you guys want to check out some of them, most of them pretty goddamn fun. I had a great.
Oh, they're all gold.
That's like 2.5 full days worth of content. You could just listen to us for 50 plus hours.
Jesus Christ Almighty! I can't even imagine that. That'd be incredible.
How much of the actual time then of just us, like with or without cameras or microphones? It's like we've had to have talked to each other for months now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unadulterated.
Yeah,
months.
absolutely. Yeah, we just decided to weaponize.
Yeah,
it.
we could have totally survived. You know what movie we would have survived that nobody else survived? 30 Days a Night. Because we would have just been talking the whole time.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true, man. This has been great. It's been great to have you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
guys.
come
Thank you
back
for having
again.
me.
We'll do some.
No problem.
And let us know behind the scenes when J4. Yeah. You need
When
some
the
voices.
J4 the jug awakens.
Nice. You heard it here first. J4 definitely happening. 1,000% happening.
The last juggernaut.
Right.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are the Watchers in the Bar. Check us out on Watchers and the Bar on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can visit watchersandbar@gmail.com. And once again, what's your website address again?
My website is mwb4life.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at Naztradamix. Put it in the link. It's like a long thing to spell out.
Yeah, we got
N-A-Z,
you.
know,
We got
what
you
I mean.
for sure.
Also, I also do a podcast every Wednesday night on Twitch at 11 p.m. I
hell
do
yeah.
the Machine Room podcast. So that's twitch.tv/Machine Room podcast.
Fuck yeah, man.
Sweet.
Right on.
Nice.
All right. Thanks so much for having us.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you on the next 50.
I'm 50. Kick. Right.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you again next week.
Yeah, guys. Later.